Hey, Andrew.
Hey, Justin.
Hey, Christian.
Hey, Andrew. Hey, Justin.
Hey, Christian. Our guest today, believe it or not, has the distinct title of being the first American on the AudPod. I think the first non Canadian altogether. Drafted by the Kitchener Rangers in 2022 and by the Colorado Avalanche in 2024. When the 2024 2025 OHL season began, we had no idea he would be joining the team. Defecting from the University of Michigan in January 2025. The man who had the most points per game for the Rangers from the moment he showed up, the de facto number one center from the day he donned the Ranger silks. Welcome, Christian Humphreys. Thanks for being here, man.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Welcome to the AudPod, where we're talking Kitchener Rangers hockey with the AudBalls themselves, Andrew and Justin. Take it away, fellas.
All right, before we talk about last year and the year ahead, let's talk about you. As we said, you're not an Ontario boy, but you are from a hockey city, all right, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Your dad was a collegiate football player, but you and your brothers all chose hockey. I mean, obviously, you're a bit young to remember the first Crosby era cup, which really makes me realize the age gap between us and you. But tell us what it's like to have grown up in the city of the Penguins with three brothers, watching that team go back to back. What is your earliest memory of hockey?
Oh, man. Yeah, I think just kind of growing up, we'd always be on the rink. And when we first got on, we were all freaking out and we had to get off the ice. So I think that's when we kind of, my parents knew, they kind of have a, aspiration for it. But obviously I played Penn's Elite growing up. So it's like the Penn's junior team. And I don't remember what year it was, but when they won the 2016 Cup against San Jose, we were in Toronto with my Penn's Elite team, and we all rented out a conference room, and yeah, it was we were all watching live when they won. I think we were all playing knee hockey from what I remember. We were that young, and
Yeah.
of course, and yeah, so we kind of just enjoyed that moment, and yeah, we've been following ever since. So it's kind of hard to hate the hometown team.
Of course. Now we know you're a Colorado Avalanche property now, but old habits die hard.
Oh, of course.
As I mentioned in that last question, you have three brothers, as your one brother in a set of triplets, and you have an older brother. I'm assuming there were, you mentioned the knee hockey. There's a lot of Stanley Cups being won either in the basement or the driveway, and just give me a little insight as to what it was like for your parents to have that many kids involved in hockey, because it's not cheap and it is a time commitment.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's pretty crazy. Even my one brother has spina bifida, when we're playing knee hockey, he's just playing goalie, and me and my brothers we're just going at it. And especially the garage door is a bad one. So in winter, we'd set it up right behind the door, and it wasn't one of those nets that was thick nets at one point. So now when we walk outside to go, it's just puck marks all over the garage door. My mom's just there's no point in getting this replaced now. So pretty funny. It's kind of been chaos, especially with all my brothers going to school now and my older brother going to play D3 at Cortland. And,
Oh, wow.
that they enjoy it a lot. So it's been a lot of fun kind of just to see where, we've all kind of gone throughout the years.
That's awesome. Yeah, you mentioned that your older brother was born with spinal bifida, and he plays sled hockey. And you mentioned in an interview with Sam Cosentino when you were getting drafted that he's a huge source of inspiration. Can you tell me a little bit about him as a brother and how important your relationship has been with him?
Oh yeah, yeah, it's big. Obviously, I've kind of got a different perspective on life, and it's kind of I don't take a day for granted. And he kind of just wants to be like a normal kid, and even when we go home this summer, he wants to do all the same stuff that we're doing. So he's kind of meant the world for me. He's been honestly making me a better hockey player, and just more thankful for who I am today. So we all have people along the way that help us, and he's been a huge one for me. So.
You mentioned before we started today that you're back home. Is that right? You're hanging out with the family for the summer?
Yeah, yeah,
Good.
yeah.
What have you guys been up to? What's a day like? What's a day like with the Humphreys family?
It's pretty crazy, to be honest. Four boys, and obviously, James is actually the one. He's it's crazy. He goes and works out twice a day, and we're all oh my God, like he'll work out in the morning. Like I'll go work out. Like I normally skate around 8 and then I'll go work out at 10. And he's literally up at 7 o'clock. He'll get up at like 8. And then as I'm home, I'm like dead for the day. And he's like, all right, I'm going back to work out right now. And I'm just like, what is going on? Kind of. So yeah, it's just a bunch of hockey. And especially we've been golfing a lot as a family recently. So
Nice.
it's pretty funny. Like my one brother's pretty good. Like he's pretty close to scratch. So anytime he'll shank one, like I'll give it to him as much as I can, just get in his head. So
You got to
a
practice
lot of
those
a lot of
churps
golf.
too. You got to practice those chirps in the
Oh
off
yeah.
season too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
can't let
Yeah.
anything get rusty.
No,
No.
no, 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 no.
No, no. Practice makes perfect, right, Andrew?
All right. Especially with you being up here in the O, because I don't know if the chirp is at a different level here with these Ontario boys, because I've heard some stuff, and it's the stereotype is, the letter Kenny stereotype. The boys go pretty hard. So, and I've heard from other Rangers that the
yeah.
Rangers go pretty hard
Yeah.
on each other. So you got to stay. You can't get rusty.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't like obviously it's never crossed your mind in school. Like it's not really like many chirps thrown around. Like I know like first game, like just flying around everywhere, and I'm just like turning my head. Like guys are like, "Welcome to Old Humps," and I'm just like turning around, like, "Oh
Yeah,
no, what did I get myself into?"
You were disadvantaged because they already had half a season to get used to it.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
big adjustment period. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh, I love that.
But they gave
So-
it to you day one, though. That's great to hear.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they got
Yeah,
you
yeah,
into
yeah.
the fire.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they got me quick, and so my head was on a swivel for the rest of the season. Pretty good.
Good, good. Speaking of, we should just, I think, launch right into this because this was actually thrown out to us. I think this is a good time. Speaking of chirps, speaking of teammates, Jack Pridham was our last guest, and he said to ask you about the mini eggs and that you'd know what that means.
We got to know.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. No, so Prince and I kind of had this thing we had going, and our assistant coach Jeff Krazakos, he would always bring like he has a sick cabinet of just some snacks. So Prince and I will always go like chop it up with the coaches, and then like we'll ask cracks. So he has one. I don't know if you guys have been the Odd, but in the media room, there's like a mini, like one of those like things you twist, like if you put 25 cents in,
Oh,
but
yeah.
like we don't
Oh,
put
okay.
the
Yeah, like a
cent in or
candy
whatever.
machine.
Yeah.
So yeah. So he like Cracks would store them there to start, and Prince and I like every day, like we'd go and have a couple mini eggs, and Cracks would kind of start to get on us slowly and slowly. And like when he'd say like, all right, no more, like we'd go back and grab a couple. And one day he caught us, and I think I bolted around like the side and like trying to go back to the locker room. And Prince is trying to like play dumb, like, oh no, it's just me. And as Cracks like walks back to the coach's office, he sees me with like a handful of mini eggs just stuffing them in my mouth. So like he put us on a temporary ban from those, but
Okay. Okay.
they'll probably be back shortly.
All right, there you go. So maybe Sean Furfaro, our friend of the pod, could sneak a few mini eggs in the Juju bowl there for,
Oh,
for
yeah.
Christian when he's on the
Oh.
band.
Yeah. Take
Oh
notes,
yeah.
Sean.
No, those things are unreal. They're
Yeah.
only Canadian too. They don't.
Oh.
I don't think they have those in America.
There
Oh,
you
this was
go.
a new
So-
thing for you, like brand new.
Yeah. Oh
okay.
yeah. Brand
okay.
new.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, there you go.
And
There you
Cracks
go.
loves them too.
The U.S. doesn't have Christian Humphreys or mini eggs, so that's 2-0 as far as I see it.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Odd, you're talking about the inside of the Odd, and your parents and your brothers had a chance to come see you play at the Odd at the end of the season, the second last game of the season, as well as going down to Guelph. What was like their experience going to the Odd and seeing you? And on top of that, what was your experience, your first game stepping out onto the ice at the Odd?
Yeah. I mean, it was surreal. I remember it was such a quick transition. Like we played Ohio State, and I think we played them on a Sunday. And I kind of just said to myself, like, honestly, like, I just want to play hockey and have fun again and just enjoy it. So, whenever Kitchener called, it was obviously a no-brainer. And so we flew up. My mom was with me. And that first game, she was there, and we were both blown away. Like, the fans' atmosphere was just incredible. And, I'm so thankful that they gave me that opportunity to play and be a Kitchener Ranger because it means so much to me. So, it was just. I can't even really put it into words because my first game, obviously, I was expecting hockey to be like a little easier. Obviously, you're going from school playing 20 to 24-year-olds, and then now I'm going to play against younger guys, and it was crazy. I remember I think first shift when I was out there, like I got a two-hand in the back of my legs,
Oh yeah.
and then like guys were obviously telling me like welcome though and stuff, and we lost. I think we lost to Brampton that first game, and I was just like, oh my God, like this hockey's so good. And obviously guys are younger, but they were so skilled, and I'm just like, all right, like we got to start like down in the rest of the year. Like, I thought the league was going to be like honestly like the USHL almost.
Right.
And I got there and I was very far off. So it's honestly, and it was so much like, and whenever I got to Kitchener, I was not planning on coming back for another year.
Yeah.
The goal was just, hey, like, let's go back to college for another year. And I think the organization kind of speaks for itself, and the fans, and everyone's kind of just so passionate about it. So it's kind of just honestly a first class organization all the way top to bottom. So
As you probably know, Andrew and I are also new fans to the Kitchener Rangers. So we're part of what drew us in was like the crazy passion that comes with the fan base of the Rangers. So
Absolutely.
Oh,
we
yeah.
definitely
Oh,
understand
yeah.
where you're coming from. We're like, it's awesome. Like the Odd has a great energy.
Oh, it rocks. I mean, in playoffs, I know Preds talked about a little, but the fireworks, like we were sitting there game one against Flint, and we're just like, oh my God, like just surreal. And I think Prince and I were talking on the bench, and or in the line, or no, we were starting that game, and I was like, "Do you think like opponents are coming in and like they're like pretty scared?" And I was like, "I mean, if I was on the other side and I saw fireworks going off in front of 8,000 fans, I'd be pretty timid too."
Yeah, for
Set
sure.
the tone. Set the tone good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're jumping around here a bit, but we're on it. We got to talk about the first period of that first game of the playoffs, man. That was
Oh.
absolutely
Oh.
bonkers. Like I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
these guys are gonna kill each other.
Yeah.
I was fearful
Oh,
for
yeah.
both teams, honestly.
Well, you watch first period, you're
Well-
like, how are they going to keep this up?
I remember Ando. He came in the locker room before. I mean, he's really good with the guys. And before I even talk about that, I mean, the culture in that group, like Macker, before I was leaving, he was kind of just like, hey, like, we're gonna take a little time, 24-hour check on you. Like, we have a really tight group, like great culture, and a lot of teams say that. And so I just thought he was saying this another one of those things, and I got there and like right away, like the guys were incredible, and like honestly, like anyone top to bottom or lineup would just kill someone if like they were like messing with the guys in our team, and like that's how close our guys were. And before that game, Ando was kind of like, hey, like let's wear him down, like first 10, 15 minutes, like honestly, like just go out there, just get a body, like try and run someone through the wall, basically. And we actually did. We executed that perfectly. And I remember UC came into that period, and he's like, "All right, guys, like we got the jitters out, but now stick on puck. Like let's start playing hockey." So,
Yeah.
honestly, like that was a really cool way to start the series. And like we switched up. Like honestly, like if you want our team was so deep last year, and like
yeah.
so dynamic. Like we didn't even have Missile in playoffs, and like one of our best goal scorers on our team, like, and we still make it to Western Conference Finals. Like, and obviously like getting hurt against London was tough. And I think if we had, a majority of our guys, like, we find a way every single game, no matter what. If we're playing a skilled game, if we're playing a gritty game, like our team found a way. And obviously Parse last year was a huge help for us. And, and especially that Mercer line, Mercer, Frizz, and Archie. Like,
I mean,
just lights
they
out.
kind of
Lights out.
turned like the worm turned when that line got matched up against the Protas and Green Tree line in the Windsor series. That line, like, don't get me wrong, everybody was playing kind of below, I think, what the Rangers have been playing, what you guys have been playing the first three games. Like, I think your best hockey had yet to be played in that series, but really that shutdown line that just changed everything in that series. Was there a moment where like that line particularly, do you remember that they were kind of like, don't worry, we got it?
Well, I think when we were down 3-0, and like I said, like this kind of speaks to the team. Like we all were like, you know what? Like, what do we have to lose? Like everyone counted us out. Like if we lose another game, so what? Everyone's counting us out. So we literally were like, let's take it 20 minutes at a time. Like win a period, we had to do that 12 more times. Like win 12 periods, you're gonna win a
Yeah.
series. That's
Yeah.
how we kind of took it as. And when that line first shift, game 4, um, I remember like they were just throwing body all around and they were shutting them down. And like Fred, Swicky, and I, like we were contributing. Not, I want to say, game 4 is really where we started to turn it up.
Mhm.
Because obviously they opened up so much space for all our guys, like especially our top 2 lines. Like Windsor was really, really top heavy last year, and like their top 6 was pretty legit, and they were hard to play against. And if we weren't a line going against one of those lines, our second line was going against their third line, and we were just
Mhm.
capitalizing. And I told Arky, I was like, I don't know how you're doing this. You're probably playing 30 minutes a night.
Yeah.
Like they were logging some legit minutes, and it kind of just like the best thing about our team last year was everyone adapted. Like I remember there was one weekend where I don't think I played with Prids or whatever, and he adapted right away, and I adapted right away. And I think when I got there, like Swicky and Prids helped me out a lot. Like they did a bunch of stuff just to like get me ready. And I think my first game was with Ellie and Prids, and they switched me to Swicky, and right away, like obviously those guys had great chemistry already, but I think after a couple games, like I started to fit in a little bit, and it kind of just speaks to the majority of the group we had.
What transition did you have to make?
Yeah, I was going to say from the USHL to NCAA and then the NCAA to the OHL.
Yeah.
How were you as a hockey player? Like, how did you prepare for that, both physically and mentally, and what was the difference like for that?
Yeah, I kind of think obviously I had a great time playing at the program. There's so many talented kids. And I think with the school part of things that, I don't think a lot of people are taking into consideration is at the end of the day, you have to develop and play.
Yeah.
So like say you have a, younger kid, they're going to school and they're getting what? I was getting like 8 minutes a night, maybe 8 to 10. You're playing, it's a short season, you're playing 38 games a year. Like in the OHL, I remember I left halfway through, I want to say halfway through the season, and I got 50 games in with Kitchener.
Right.
Like huge difference. And I was playing, third, fourth line, second power play. And right then there, I was like starting to like lose my confidence a little, like saying like, like kind of questioning my hockey game. So, and I think you'll see it a little bit like coming. Like guys are from NCAA, like if they like the young talent they have, like there's gonna be guys coming to CHL, and I would not be shocked, like at all. Because at the end of the day, it's like I firmly believe that the OHL is the best development path in junior, and that's coming from an American. And USHL does do a really good job too developing their players. And I just think with the like those 7-game playoff series, like I never got those.
Right.
And right away, I think the second I left school, we had a 3-3. I've never had one of those either. And it's
Yeah.
like when you turn pro, when you turn pro, like you're gonna get all those things. Like you're gonna get 3-on-3s, you're gonna get 7-game series. Like so, I think it's been a really good adjustment period for me. And I think Kitchener's done a great job just helping me kind of figure it out. Like obviously, I'm still a little new to it. And obviously, next year it'll be good to be like one of the veterans on the team, but. Yeah, like I can't really thank him more.
Well, we love to hear that.
Yeah.
I mean, we love to hear that the OHL is the best route. That's that's poignant today. Thank you very much for that, and I'm sure
Yeah.
Kitchener Rangers fans appreciate hearing that when this releases. So you did mention the U.S. National Development Team. We don't really know too much about what goes on there, and like I got to be honest, your junior program is giving us fits here in Canada. Like we don't know like what you guys are doing or what's in the water there, but it just seems like that program's got it going on. And can you pull back the curtain a little bit on that process of like being selected to that and just kind of going through that?
Yeah, I mean it's so special. Anytime you get to throw on your jersey, like I mean it was like whenever I first threw it on, like I got goosebumps, and like I loved my time there. It was incredible. And you kind of get selected at a younger age. I want to say it's 16. So when you're like 16, 17, you might be turning 18, but around those ages, they select a bunch of players to go represent your country for 2 years, and it's different. Like I would say in the States, like you work out so hard, like you work out a lot, and honestly, like I've been kind of both ways about it. Like I love like especially our Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday workouts. They're really good, and I enjoy going through those, but they do a great job like Thursday. Like if you're playing on a Friday, like Wednesday, you're gonna hit like a light workout and just kind of get your body moving. And then Thursday, you might hit like a quick speed lift or recovery, and like I feel like so much better in the games, just like ready to go kind of mindset. So I mean, it's different. Obviously, it's hard whenever you're putting so many of the best players on one team, but they've done a better job about rounding out players, trying to give them like certain roles. But it's also like kids are like pretty young there, so it's like you could have guys that are like I've known guys that barely make the team and then turn out to be like NHL superstars. So
Right.
it's kind of like a different aspect of it, and I mean, for what they're doing a very good job at developing players.
Fair.
Yeah,
That's we see that at the World Juniors.
Yeah.
So we've got to get into it a little bit. You were drafted in 2024 to Colorado. That's why I got the Nordiques hat on. I'm not willing to go all the way to Colorado for you as an Oilers fan, but I will go to the defunct Nordiques. I read in an interview that you were slated to go earlier than you did and that you're using that as motivation. I'm not trying to pick a wound here or anything like that, but you still wound up getting drafted by like one of the most consistently run organizations in the league, man. It's also home to a Kitchener Rangers legend like Gabriel Landeskog. Did you know that like you were on their radar, and like you don't have to tell us about how it was like falling in the draft, but how is it now knowing that like it doesn't matter where you get drafted because you've been drafted?
I mean, especially at the combine, like you interview with a bunch of teams, and I was lucky enough to get interviewed by Colorado, and I'm not even saying this because I got drafted. I think I had the most fun like in their interview.
Oh,
and it was like, so like you're playing like games the whole time basically, like there's a couple of those interviews where like you're sitting there and like you're like tensing up because like you're getting grilled by a couple teams or whatever, and they're like we just had fun or whatever, and I think they asked like one question when I was there, and it was kind of like Nathan McKinnon, Cale Makar, and Andrew Cogliano, and they were talking about like who would like I forget the question, but it was kind of just like who would like it was something about like being a leader or whatever, like the most skilled guy, or who you'd go to in the locker room. And I chose Cogliano because he's been a veteran and he's been in the NHL for all these years, and they were like, wow, that's a good answer. So but yeah, like we were playing a bunch of like I think they just wanted to see how competitive you were, to be honest, in that interview. And um I think a lot of guys after that weekend were like, man, like guys were like excited to go into Colorado's interview, and some other teams were like, you'd be just terrified.
Right. Let's just switch gears altogether. I know we've talked a little bit about this, but you're talking about talking to guys in the room, and you're talking about coming in, being a little bit terrified. Jack kind of insinuated that maybe Coach Ahokas is a little bit of an intimidating presence. I know for us, we no doubt about it would be terrified of the man. Yeah. We said last episode that he's like, if he showed up in a dark alley, like brushing his hair back with a leather jacket on, it's over. But you got dropped into like basically what was a powerhouse team. Was it in the back of your mind, obviously, like Kitchener was always an option, and you got dropped in as like the number one center. So just tell us a little bit about like the transition was quick, but tell us about like, did you talk to people in the organization like Coach Ahokas or Mike McKenzie or whatever before you actually got to Kitchener?
So first off, UC is definitely intimidating. There's some days where like the boys would love to go hang out with them or sit in the coach's office and kind of talk to them. There's other days where we're just like, all right, we're gonna mind our own
Take
business.
an extra 5 feet to the door.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Well, my parents are always like on TV because they're always watching from home, and they're like, he shows no emotion. I'm like, yeah, that's UC. So yeah, it's kind of funny, but obviously the switch was quick, and I knew Cam Reed really well. Just coming, so we went to boarding school together. We became pretty good buddies there, and I think I think whenever I was thinking about it, I kind of just want to get some inside tell from him and to see how it is and how he likes it there. And he spoke nothing but great things about it. And I think I remember it was like a Tuesday. It was that Tuesday before I came up on the Wednesday. Apparently, he got called in the Macker's office to kind of talk about like how I am as like a kid and stuff. And he was like, "Oh, I was so scared. Like I thought I was getting traded because the deadline was
no.
coming up."
Right,
So
right.
yeah. So kind of funny story, but yeah, he's obviously such a great kid, and his hockey speaks for itself. And
Yep.
I think with a lot of our guys, like it's pretty cool to see like this role's coming out like in college CHL guys can go and like you look at all of our guys, like all of us want to be in Kitchener. Like
Yeah.
it's the spot to be in, and like none of us are jumping ship. Like Prid's could have jumped ship, I could have jumped ship. Like, you got those younger guys like Romano, like Reed, like, but all of us love it here so much, and this is where we want to be. Like the fans, the passion. I mean, it's such a special place, and we're looking forward to next year.
That's
We
what
love
we
it. That's
love
the
hearing,
that's the
yeah.
clip for social media right there. That's the clip for social media
Yeah.
right there. You can be sure of it. So I mean that the atmosphere is amazing. We've talked about that, but one of the best goals of the year last year was your overtime winner against Sarnia, and you're talking about wanting to stick around. I looked at the timeline. February 28th, you scored that goal, and then like less than a week later, you were like, "I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving." So was it in your mind like at that time were you like from the beginning, like when you just started going, were you like, "I'm staying," or was it just like did you slowly go, the same way that like we rubbed off on Prids that like, I got to be a Ranger next year? How did that go in your mind?
Yeah, I hate to keep harping on the same thing, but I mean, it's just, the whole organization itself. And obviously, like the first couple of weeks, like I'd say month I was there, like, it was up in the air when Pritz and we started talking, and especially after we lost, we were like, let's go. Like, we got another year, like, let's do or die next year. And like, I think it's kind of been just that mentality. And, when you hear all the guys are returning and, you get another year of what we had and, it's just excitement, like pure joy. Like, I'm kind of getting goosebumps right now. It's 5 days now that I leave. And,
Yeah.
I'm just so excited to be up there and like see the guys. So,
That's awesome.
I've had a great summer but yeah, it's time to get back and get to work.
Oh yeah. We're so excited for Rangers hockey this year. I think there's a special buzz. I think last year was such a special, magical year, but of course, like the job's not finished. So it's one of those things where I think there's such a great core coming back that we're all just like over the moon that both of you are coming back, and there's been some moves made to help the team, and the team was just so deep last year that it's one of those things that I feel like if you just ran it back, even with the overagers that had to leave and the guys who were kind of, if there was too many overagers this year, which was heartbreaking, but that's just an aspect of the league. But I think that like we just all believe in you guys, and I think Rangers Nation is just beating that drum and believing from the very start. I think something happened in that Windsor series, and I feel like Rangers fans they just know it's this year, it's 2027, the Memorial Cup, obviously the bid is official, and there's just positive vibes around this team. So we're so excited to have you guys back and start the season, and we're really grateful that you joined us on the OudPod. It's been an absolutely incredible interview, Christian. You can come back anytime. No stock hockey answers from
Not
Christian
even
Humphreys.
one.
No. Oh yeah. Thanks for having me, guys. I enjoyed it, and we just gotta get that Oilers. They gotta crack through one of these days.
No,
eh?
Oh man,
they do not.
Listen,
They do not.
Listen, 2006, my heart broke, man. I was a 16-year-old kid watching that team in the old building. My parents had season tickets. That was the first year we had season tickets back when they were actually somewhat affordable. That was when my heart broke against Carolina. That dates me. That'll tell you how much older I am than you are. And honestly, these past 2 years, I've just been sitting there like, yeah, this is what happens. And Justin, I know you had it as well in 2004, so we won't skip over you. But and the puck went across the line in that series.
It was
so
in.
you
Yeah.
technically-
It was
Oh
in.
yeah.
And is the
Well, you
whole,
must have
Screw
been.
the Florida teams.
Justin must have been freaking out this year. The Calgary just literally. I was like, oh, they're for sure
Oh.
getting in, right?
Imagine
Second,
getting 92 points and missing the playoffs.
yeah.
what league is this?
That's
Honestly,
insane.
honestly,
Especially the Pacific
Yeah,
Division.
it's
Like
great.
we've been the bottom
I know.
division for so long.
I know.
Yeah.
I have faith that Connor McDavid is going to get one. I mean, like, you know, whether it's in Edmonton or somewhere else, I believe it will be in Edmonton, but he will get one. He's Connor McDavid. He'll make it happen. He'll just make it
Yeah.
happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I believe that this group in Kitchener absolutely has the heart and the will to get it done this year. And man, we are going to be rooting for you guys so hard. We're so grateful that all of you have embraced us and come on the pod, and we're just excited to just keep, you know, recapping and previewing games this year, and hopefully, you know, you guys will continue to get a kick out of us, because that's what we're here for.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, we'll provide you guys some entertainment for sure. It's gonna be a fun year, and you know, it's do or die. So like, let's go.
Let's go.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, Christian. Really appreciate you coming on, and looking forward to seeing training camp and seeing what's going on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, it'll be fun.
and
Thanks.
we'll be down around the Odd. I think potentially the preseason fan fest that's Sunday. Potentially, I don't know. Justin is like a full-time parent right now, so it's hard.
That's
to,
also tomato.
it's hard
weekend,
to sign
so-
him up.
Yeah.
For things, but if not, we'll be there opening weekend. So now, like, the funny thing is, we'll see you guys around. We'll have our hopefully we can try and drag our little ones out to it at some point, and maybe meet you guys when you guys are in an event or something like that, because I know that it's exciting. Even though they won't remember it, we'll be like, look, this is NHL superstar Christian Humphreys that's hanging out with you right here.
No, it'll be awesome. Yeah, I just found out that I'll be at FanFest.
Oh, awesome.
Like they booked, because we were talking about, we have like rookie tournament stuff in Colorado, and we were back and forth with Mike just about dates, and so I'm gonna leave the day after FanFest to fly out there. So
Awesome.
so I mean, that kind of speaks the volume of just our GM, and because I had it booked earlier, and he's like, hey, like FanFest is, you know, we give back basically, like, you know, like.
Yeah.
And like that, like I didn't really think about it until it kind of sat in, and I was like that's a GM who cares. Like most GMs are just like, you know, think about the players. And
But you mentioned that though in an interview. I did quite a bit of research, because you actually are one of the few players that had a lot of press that I could look at. There hasn't been a ton on junior hockey players, and I think that's something that as like Canadian like sports journalists we need to get better at, because we need to generate more buzz for the league and keep players in Canada and bring, you know, talent like yourself out of other countries. But you said that you like giving back, and that's like a big thing for you. So maybe we'll just end the podcast here on that and how important that is to you. And we'll extend just want to talk about that, but we'll extend to you that if you're ever doing anything this year and you want to plug it, or you even just want us to share it on social media or anything, if you've got any sort of cause or something you want to do this season, think about it. We'll support you no matter what in that. But yeah, just tell us about giving back and how important that is for yourself.
Oh yeah, I mean, obviously we touched on my brother, so I mean, just like even little things. My mom, she started a foundation to support them, and just, you know, like inner city kids that don't have a chance to play hockey. So she started a foundation, and so kind of just whenever I've been like younger, I've kind of been always just trying to give back to people as much as I can. Like it's a big deal to me, and you know, we've been in the works a little bit. I'm not sure if it's gonna happen. We're kind of just trying to map things out, but I for sure want to start a cause this year and try and just, you know, find the right group, find the right organization, and you know, if it works out, great. And I think it's just, I honestly think it's just not even for, you know, the photos or the videos, or like I don't even want the attention doing it. You know, you kind of just like, even just to play hockey at a young age, you're so fortunate, and especially having James as my brother, like just like I said, it gives me a different perspective. So it's kind of been I guess it's in our family blood, but you know, I enjoy doing it.
You
So.
sound like a wonderful family. Your parents have done an incredible job with all of you. You especially, because we've chatted with you. We're really impressed with you, man. Just one last thing. What position did your dad play in football?
He was a fullback.
Oh,
So
wow.
he-
Okay.
So like cracks, and you're always getting on me. They're like, you got to gain weight. And, you know, I feel good. I put on 15 pounds this summer, but you know, they're kind of just like, I don't know if they've met my dad, but he's a bigger dude, and obviously if he's a fullback, like he was pretty big guy.
Lead the
so.
way, hit the hole,
Yeah.
lead the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, amazing, man. We're gonna end it here. Thank you so much.
That was amazing.
Unbelievable. What an interview.
Yeah, like I didn't even have to talk because he's just got all the answers ready to go, and man, he's candid, lovely, amazing, got a lot to say, so much life experience. Oh my god.
I know. Such a wonderful perspective to have as a young hockey player, and I'm actually like flabbergasted at how good of an interview. What you didn't see was when he jumped into our meeting room here, was he just started talking to us right away, chirping me about the Oilers right away. Like, it was like unbelievable. Christian Humphreys, we are just shocked. You took us by storm. You took the AudPod by storm, Christian Humphreys. The same way he's taken the OHL by storm this year, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. For sure.
The man with the most points per game. That's right. And he's most points per AudPod, I think, as well.
Yeah.
That was quite the interview. Yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Humphreys, you've done an incredible job. We appreciate you sharing him with the OHL and specifically the Kitchener Rangers.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, we are dumbfounded by how great that chat with Christian was. So we're just gonna go ahead and say you can find us on the socials at the Odd Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. Rarely are we without words. We are without words for what just happened there. That was an awesome time. You can find us on YouTube as well. AudPod Kitchener Rangers. Just search it. You'll find us. We're all over the internet now. In fact, when I was researching Christian Humphreys, one of the results was us. So we made it. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. What do we got to say? I bet you we got some people to thank.
We should thank, of course, Kim Boren, the director of branding and marketing.
Papa Boren, you're going to be here really soon. Now, when this airs, Papa Boren, you will pretty much be here any day.
Maybe a week. And home opener. I think we got to get them to the home opener. So
we do.
That's the plan.
We do.
Of course, we got to thank the prodigal producer, Liam.
The Phenom.
And do we thank anyone else? I don't know. I don't think so.
We thank Tim, but I can't imagine us needing Tim for this interview. I hope not anyway, but maybe
Tim.
we do. Thanks, Tim, for always being there if we do need you.
You know what? Tomorrow is Tim's birthday, so happy birthday, Tim.
Tim's birthday. This is going to be like weeks late, but
it'll be a
happy birthday, Tim.
Yeah, but
thank you for listening as well as fixing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as always, you can find us at
the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium.
See you at the Odd.